Hello and welcome to Empower Leaders and Managers with Productivity and Wellbeing Insights in Microsoft Teams. My name is Anu Challa and I'm a Program Manager on the Workplace Intelligence team at Microsoft. In this session, we'll take a deeper look at how productivity and well-being insights can help business leaders and managers understand not just how work is evolving, but also the impact of new norms on employee experience, manager effectiveness, and organizational resiliency. Let's dive in. So far, 2020 has been marked by change and adaptation. When companies around the globe were forced, seemingly overnight, to shift how they worked, millions of business leaders, managers, and employees went to great lengths to adapt. Kitchens became boardrooms. Children, dogs, and cats became office mates. And collaboration tools became lifelines. For everyone from frontline workers to knowledge workers, the words productivity, balance, and resilience took on new meanings. These rapid responses helped people and organizations stay productive, meet customers' needs, and keep business moving. But there was a cost to that agility. In a survey between March and April of 2020, more than 40% of individual contributors, managers, and C-level employees reported decreased mental health. Nearly 70% reported higher stress levels, and well over half reported elevated levels of anxiety. Our agility has taken a toll on our well-being. What if we could treat well-being as a catalyst of productivity and resilience, rather than a cost? Our collective response to COVID-19 introduced possibilities we didn't think existed, disrupting long-held beliefs and norms about work. It taught us that we can reimagine how we work for the long term. Your business looks very different today than it did 6 months ago, and more change lies ahead. You responded in the moment, and now is your opportunity to build a more resilient business as you navigate recovery and plan for the future of your business in a very different world. As you redefine and reinvent processes and become more efficient, as you identify new growth opportunities, as you discard the habits that no longer fit into the new normal, you're going to introduce a host of changes. And those who will navigate your business through these changes are your people. Your leaders and your managers will guide them. But it's not easy. With added personal, family, community, and professional stressors, employees need the support of their organizations to ensure that the culture at work not only enables people to be productive, but also supports their well-being so they can thrive. If we want our businesses to thrive in the new normal, we need to conscientiously build work cultures that foster well-being. And that process starts with insight. Insight into how people work, how they connect, collaborate, and spend their time working towards the outcomes you care about. Insight into the hurdles that slow innovation or keep you from bringing new value to market. Insight into how people are adapting and managing along the way. Traditionally, of course, the challenge has been getting access to the signals that inform these insights. Now we've unlocked the power of the Microsoft Graph to help companies understand how work gets done, empowering them to explain and predict the impact of day-to-day actions on the outcomes they care about and the well-being of their people. With insight into empowerment, connectedness, engagement, autonomy, and influence, we're giving companies the tools they need to respond to disruption, embark on a path to recover and grow, and plan for a reimagined future. We've been bringing insights to our customers through Workplace Analytics and My Analytics, and now we're excited to be bringing experiences that will harmonize productivity and well-being into Teams, where our customers connect, collaborate, and get work done every day. In this session, we'll be taking a deeper look at specialized productivity and well-being insights in Microsoft Teams to help leaders and managers. Now let's take a look at the insights tailored for business leaders in Microsoft Teams. These are your insights in Microsoft Teams. You'll see tabs to help you stay connected with collaborators and protect your time at work. If you're a manager, you'll see an additional tab with insights at the team level. And if you're a business leader, you'll get an additional tab with insights about your organization. These organizational insights offer a window into business outcomes and how people work. Let's take a look. In the navigation pane on the left-hand side, you'll see a menu of business outcomes to explore, like boosting employee engagement, improving agility, fostering innovation, developing effective managers, enhancing operational effectiveness, accelerating change, transforming meeting culture, and increasing customer focus. Let's take a deep dive into an outcome as a business leader. Here's Organizational Resiliency, a dashboard specifically designed for business leaders to understand how employees are responding to disruption. Here I can see data-driven insights around 5 key areas: community, well-being, manager interaction, collaboration, and meeting culture. Team cohesion is a way of measuring community. Now that many of us no longer have that in-person interaction with our colleagues, do we feel that sense of community, or do we feel isolated? Here we can see that fewer than half of teams have strong cohesion, and I can actually visualize that for my organization. This number may not surprise me. According to a recent Harris poll, 60% of people say they feel less connected since the pandemic began, so I might interpret this as a reflection of that sentiment. That being said, I do want to make sure that this is addressed because the results can be lower organizational commitment and engagement. Here I have a section to help me take action. I'm going to click to see the best practices that can help me build a more cohesive culture in my organization. Here I can see recommended best practices that provide some suggestions to strengthen connections in my organization by promoting informal social gatherings, even if they're just virtual, and leveraging the features I already have, such as My Analytics network features and Microsoft Teams channel features. Next, let's look at employee well-being. This is something that has always been critical to my business. Nearly half of human resource leaders reported that employee burnout accounts for 20 to 50% of their company's annual turnover. That turnover is costly. Estimates range from 1 to 3 times a knowledge worker's annual salary to replace them when they leave. But particularly now that many of us do not have the physical separation between our personal and work lives, I know that this is an area I need to keep an eye on. Here I see that 52% of employees across the business are working after hours by more than 1 hour per week. This is something I definitely want to take action on, because elevated levels of after-hours work lead to burnout, which reduces productivity and increases that risk of attrition. It may also be an indicator of inefficient processes that could be optimized, or workloads that need to be rebalanced. Again, I'll click to see the recommended best practices. And here again, I see some tactical actions I can take to help my employees recharge and disconnect. Let's take a look at another important element of resiliency, which is the capacity to make swift decisions in an environment of rapid change and disruption. This insight shows us conflicting meeting hours, where managers are double booked. In this case, it's pretty high at 40%. Double booked and redundant meetings have downstream impacts that slow decision-making and waste meeting prep time. Double booking and redundant meetings also reduce managers' availability for focus time or to meet one-on-one with their direct reports. to provide strategic guidance and coaching. Pure lack of time is a common challenge for managers who often operate at or over capacity. Even before the crisis, their workload was higher than that of other employee groups. Over the last several months, this has only intensified. Let's look at some insights in other areas that help me understand how to help managers be more effective. I'm going to switch to the effective manager's outcome. As we just saw, managers are often overloaded with meetings. Research shows smaller and shorter meetings are far more conducive to decision-making. This breakdown of manager meetings provides insight into that balance between inclusion and effectiveness, and if meetings are structured in a way that facilitates action and decision-making. I can quickly see that 41% of the meetings my managers attend are classified as long and large. This could be a sweet spot for improvement. Bloated meetings require little individual accountability and can be an ineffective way to share information with a broader team. While large meetings, such as all hands, can be useful, habitually holding long and large meetings can hinder productivity and chip away at employee engagement over time. This visibility helps me as a leader understand where we have an opportunity to optimize meeting hours and encourage meeting best practices. Managers lead by example when it comes to working hours, and research shows their after-hours activity generates after-hours for employees too. Not only can it lead to manager burnout and loss of productivity, but it can cascade down to their teams. As we saw earlier, more than half of my employees are working after hours. Given the number of conflicting meeting hours we saw for managers, this 90% may not be all that surprising. This will be something I track as meeting culture changes, but it also warrants investigation into where inefficient processes may be impacting work-life balance and an erosion of well-being. Organizational network analysis, or ONA, illustrates the impact of formal and informal human connections and reveals critical insights into communication, decision-making, and information flows. Influencers, for instance, are people who are well connected within the organization and can be vital to organizational change and adoption, disseminating ideas that lead to innovation and growing expertise across the company. Perhaps unsurprisingly, many influencers also have the potential to be great leaders. Not only can ONA help strengthen your leadership pipeline, but it can also identify growth opportunities for existing managers. Effective managers have large internal networks across the company that they maintain, and their direct reports are typically more engaged and have larger networks as well. A larger internal network that spans different functions can increase the flow of information for the manager, remove blockers for the team, and unlock growth opportunities for their direct reports. While the majority of managers across my organization have great cross-team connections, recommended best practices can help the 25% who may not grow their networks and be more effective. A good manager empowers their people with a degree of autonomy and decision-making. This is crucial for development and for engagement. This insight provides visibility into the overall manager-employee relationship. While some co-attendance is expected, this high rate of manager co-attendance in meetings with direct reports signals an opportunity to reduce redundancy and potentially accomplish two things simultaneously. First, empower employees with greater autonomy, and second, free up manager meeting time, so managers can focus on other more strategic tasks. These are two of the 9 business outcomes available for leaders: organizational resiliency and effective managers. Now we've seen insights curated for business leaders about the managers and employees within their organization. But we can go further and empower managers with insights about their own team's well-being and effectiveness. Let's run through the insight experience we've built for managers. As a manager, I get the default experience with the Stay Connected and Protect Time tabs, with an additional experience curated for me as a manager. Let's start with the employee experience. Regular check-ins between employees and managers play an important role in driving employee engagement, alignment, and clarity. I can see that less than 1/3 of my team is getting regular one-on-one time. This is pretty low, especially within the context of other teams, like mine, of similar size and function across the org. I have specialized resources at my disposal, such as links to supporting research and articles about the importance of specific work habits and norms, such as this article about what great managers do daily. I can also see suggestions to help boost engagement and other best practices to help address challenge areas. Similar to what we saw at the organizational level for business leaders, managers have visibility into after hours for their teams to help prevent burnout and turnover, as well as insight into the factors that may be contributing to a prolonged workday. Switching outcomes to team effectiveness, I can see where we have opportunities to be more productive. With more than 20 hours per week on average spent in potentially unproductive meetings, I can also see how meeting culture may be slowing down work, rather than providing clarity around accountability, action, and direction. I can also see how alternative communication channels, such as using instant messaging for one-on-one communication, could enable us to share information and take action more quickly. Focus is critical for all types of knowledge workers, where creative problem solving and developing alternatives are crucial. And yet it's so hard for most of us to protect our time, which impacts not only productivity, creativity, and innovation, but also well-being, when a lack of time forces work outside of the workday. This view allows me to ensure that my team has enough time to do their work during working hours, rounding out the team effectiveness outcome. Now we've seen some of the highlights of the manager experience in the Insights app in Microsoft Teams. In addition to recommended actions and best practices, we'll also enable managers to launch plans to help their teams collaborate effectively, master their time, and achieve a healthy work-life balance. This experience exists currently for managers within the Workplace Analytics web app. I'll walk you through that experience as a preview of what will soon be available within Microsoft Teams. This is the Workplace Analytics home for managers. Here we see the same two outcomes as in Teams: employee experience and team effectiveness. You'll notice a similar structure to the Teams experience with one notable difference. Here, when I see a challenge area, such as a large proportion of my team working after hours, I can take action with my recommended plan. Clicking in, I'm able to create a well-being plan to help my team achieve a healthy work-life balance. I can set the duration of the plan, a specific goal I hope to achieve, and choose how many people I want to participate. Once enrolled in a plan, my team will be encouraged to use custom tools to help them disconnect after hours, such as delaying email delivery until business hours. They'll receive tips and insights to help them preserve their work-life balance, and they'll receive a weekly digest email to be able to privately track their individual progress. I'll be able to track our progress collectively at the team level. Not only that, I can see what activities are taking up our after-hours time to help me take action.
Together with my team, I can create and maintain a healthy working culture.
The insight experiences we've walked through for leaders, managers, and individuals at your organization complement many of the self-service insights already available in workplace analytics. For most customers, this is just the starting point in their journey.
We have a suite of tools that comprise our analyst workbench and a flexible query engine for exploring data that allows you to generate reports tailored to your specific business challenges. And that's not all. You can pair your workplace analytics data with other data sources, such as employee engagement survey data or CRM data, to make your insights even more powerful. For example, combining insights with survey data helps organizations understand how work-life balance, workload, autonomy, and empowerment influence engagement. Adding CRM data maps sales behaviors with pipeline health, quota attainment, and close rates, enabling organizations to replicate successful ways of working across the entire organization. Our customers, and we at Microsoft, have used workplace analytics to plan better workspaces, optimize key business processes, improve sales outcomes, and understand the factors that lead to more engaged and successful employees. Here's an example. The head of sales at an organization wanted to know, can we raise quota attainment by learning from our most productive representatives and replicating their success? The company matched workplace analytics data with internal quota attainment data to identify the collaboration signals most closely correlated with quota attainment success. Among other findings, the company identified that, compared to their peers, the most successful sellers spent 2.5 more hours with customers each week, actively worked on 8 fewer accounts, but had 3 times the amount of regular contacts within those accounts, and had substantially larger internal networks. The workplace analytics findings helped uncover which behaviors drove sales success at this customer's organization. By sharing those findings with the full sales team, sales leadership enabled all representatives to learn from their top-performing peers. The company used the findings to develop a new selling model, which contributed to an over $200 million sales lift. It starts with access to unprecedented data. Microsoft 365 contains the largest graph of human activity and interactions at work ever created. As people use collaboration tools like chat, email, and calendar, those signals are captured in the Microsoft graph. This data is produced as the natural byproduct of the work people do every day. It's part of an ecosystem you already know and trust. As a Microsoft 365 service, it sits within your trust boundaries with privacy safeguards and protections for individuals. You are in control of your data. Combining this information with organizational context and other relevant data, such as employee engagement scores, sales performance, or other business outcomes, enables you to pinpoint successful work patterns and norms that lead to the outcomes you care about. It's more important than ever to ensure individuals, teams, and organizations are engaged, connected, and empowered to do their best work. Your insights will help you address critical questions, risks, and opportunities so that you can navigate the current disruption, recover throughout the uncertainties that lie ahead, and thrive as you plan for the future. Here's how workplace analytics protects your data. With world-class compliance, security, and privacy safeguards, we're proud to be part of the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. Within workplace analytics, you control what data is used and by whom, easily applying your policies to your data and managing risk with audit logging. With aggregated and anonymized organizational data, views are de-identified, protecting personal data. And lastly, for insight at the individual level, we make it easy to adhere to GDPR regulations and keep personal insights private. The manager and leader experiences we walked through today will be available starting in October. All the dashboards, insights, and best practices will be available then. Looking ahead, we will release plans and nudges for managers to help their teams improve productivity and well-being. For leaders, we will release industry benchmarks to help contextualize insights relative to their peer group. To access the experiences we've walked through today, install the Insights app for Teams, available in October. If you'd like to learn more about workplace analytics, ask your account manager about a workplace analytics workshop. You can find this session and other related sessions, as well as our blog, videos, and other resources at our website, aka.ms/productivity and wellbeing.
Thank you for watching.